Hi, I'm Jolene Winter from Brader Winter Funeral Home. Thank you for joining me today to talk about how to choose a funeral home. The biggest part when choosing a funeral home is reputation. When you're talking about reputation, choosing the right funeral home to help your family through a difficult time is number one. Looking online for online surveys or online feedback. Sometimes you'll see some funeral homes that have that, sometimes you won't. Don't be surprised if you don't find feedback online. Many of the funeral homes that they're dealing with, they're not dealing with younger people, they're dealing more with older population, but they don't always think about giving feedback online. It's not something that we normally do. More and more, you'll get more and more people to choose to give feedback online, and that's great. Second, you always want to talk to family members in your community of funeral homes that they've possibly used, and what their thoughts on, how was their service compared to the pricing, and just kind of getting a feedback of, did the funeral director kind of take care of them through everything? And you'll get a lot of feedback on that. And don't just talk to one or two people. Ask a few of your different friends that you know. I mean, we've all been to funerals and we've all gone into different funeral homes, and sometimes that gives us a good feel about what the funeral homes are like as well. The third thing is, I always tell families, go to the funeral home and talk to the funeral directing staff of who's going to be helping you through that difficult time. The number one thing to keep in mind is that funeral home and the funeral directors that you're dealing with, or the funeral director that you're dealing with, is going to be helping you through this difficult time. And more people want unique funerals. They don't want the cookie cutter funerals. Many funeral directors out there, unfortunately, that's all that they know how to do. So those are kind of the key items when choosing a funeral home. But I tell families, really, the one thing that you really should do is actually go and visit the funeral homes and get to know the staff, and that will make your determination right away. A trusting staff is really going to be the biggest key. A lot of people ask, well, what makes your funeral home different from other funeral homes? And I will tout on my staff 100%. We've got Jack Wenning. He is a licensed funeral director and has been for over, I want to say 42 years. He has been a licensed funeral director and embalmer, and he is a great embalmer. He's probably one of the best in the whole Cincinnati area. I have been licensed for about 20 years. Actually, no, I've only been licensed for about 18 years, but I've been in the business since I was 18. Starting off by washing cars and helping the funeral directors with anything that they need, mowing lawn. I truly got into the business because I love helping families. This is not a family business. I was not passed down. This was not given to me. And you can definitely tell, at least my families have told me, you can definitely tell that this was your calling in life. The third person that we have that helps us is Heather Bressert. She is a licensed funeral director apprentice, and she is just starting out. This is her second career, and she got into this business wanting to do good for the families that she serves, and she's been a great asset to our company. We have some part-time people as well, and each one of them, going through all of the staff, and I think it starts with me, is we will do whatever the family wants to help them customize their family's funeral, and no suggestion is too small. We had one family that said, it'd be really neat to have Dad in a covered wagon or a wagon, because he was a farmer all of his life. And they said, but it's going to be raining the whole time. Well, I took that and I ran with it, and I surprised him at the church. We went to the church in a hearse, but when we left church, we left in a covered wagon, because he was a farmer, and by golly gee, he was going to go out in farmer style. So we did that for the family, and the family didn't really know about that, and that was a big surprise to them. And those are the little things that a funeral home should do, and you shouldn't have to ask. They should automatically pick up on that and be able to run with an idea like that, or come up with their own idea to help customize. This is, your family is at a difficult time in life, and they need those suggestions, and it's not a cookie cutter funeral. Your family member truly was a unique person, just as we all are. I would suggest, the biggest part that I always tell families, when you're looking at funerals and funeral homes, get pricing and just make sure that the prices that they give you is the same as what's on their general price list. By law, we have to give you a general price list. There are some funeral homes, if they know that you're price shopping, they will, they'll go off their price list and just to do that one time. But then the next time your family comes, the prices are back up to whatever that was originally. And that's, I guess, okay if you want to wheel and deal in that situation. I'm not like that. With us, it's what you see is what you get. If I do have a family that needs help financially for a funeral, I am more than willing to help them with getting the right paperwork and the right process to get them taken care of and to help them. I feel that as a funeral director in the community, we have to do that. That is our responsibility, is to take care of not just the wealthy, but everyone. Everyone needs and deserves a funeral of some nature. Another thing I would tell families to do is to check with their local, their state, more than likely their state, funeral director and embalming board. All states have a funeral director and embalming board, and they license the funeral homes, and they will tell you if their license is in good standing. You can see if they've had any type of issues with their funeral home, and those are all things that as you're looking, you can check to make sure that the person that you're talking with is a licensed funeral director. Because if you're ever talking, at least in the state of Ohio, Kentucky, or Indiana, you must be a licensed funeral director to talk to a family regarding funeral services.